Conservative? Please explain to me. I mean, they look like a bunch of Metro liberals. I mean, how can it be that we have Churchill's statue being vandalised, public statues being chucked in a dock in Bristol, the cenotaph being desecrated, and the government say nothing, nothing. Just every now and again, after an opinion poll comes out, Boris makes a comment and the Daily Mail say, hurrah, we've got a Prime Minister that's standing up for law and order and respect and decency. They have bowed down before the woke agenda. They have, I'm afraid, filled their cabinet up with a group of people who are sort of, you know, kids with rich daddies who played at politics at university, never had a proper job, and then decided this would be their career. I think the biggest problem they've got is they don't look competent. You know, whether it's the in-out, hokey-cokey, shake it all about on quarantine rules, whether, you know, Croatia's in or out, or Portugal's in or out, or Bolton's in lockdown or not, they look to be as if they're being pushed around by events rather than leading events. And look, I know it's not been easy to deal with this. On schools and exam results, again, all over the place. Whether it's 8 or 12 distinctive U-turns, I couldn't tell you, but it's clearly quite a lot. And on the Channel crossings, well, look, part of Brexit and part of the appeal that Boris had to the electorate last December was that we were going to be taking back control. And that meant taking back control of our borders, putting in an Australian-style point system, which basically people took to mean, you know, taking in those that were qualified, spoke the language, obeyed the law, all the rest of it. But also a very specific promise that numbers would come down. And what we see is a daily, at least when it's calm, a daily humiliation across the English Channel. The official number for yesterday is 409 people. That's without the ones, of course, who slipped away unseen, of which I'm sure there were quite a few. And on legal immigration, the figures to March show that 715,000 people settled in the country in 1 year, a net of almost 1/3 So both legal and illegal immigration are running at all-time highs. And that doesn't just damage the government on competence, it damages the government on trust. And that's an even more serious issue. So whichever way you cut this, there are very large numbers of people who voted Conservative, who believed in Boris Johnson. And I won't say that that support has completely evaporated, but goodness me, I tell you what, it's hanging on by not much more than a thread. And against that, Starmer, well, he may not be spectacular, he may not be laugh a minute, but at least, I tell you what, he's not Jeremy Corbyn, is he? He's not scary. He's not bringing the associations of Palestinian extremism, anti-Semitism, taxing the rich to hell. I mean, after all, Rishi's going to do that anyway. So I think we're in a position here where Starmer, I would say Starmer has made a half-decent start. You know, to win an election, given how far Labour are behind, is a hell of a mountain to climb. But I do think, and this is the one thing I would say for certain, outside of Brexit, I feel that what Boris Johnson, Dominic Cummings, and perhaps a bit of Michael Gove have done is to fill the cabinet up with lightweights, to fill the cabinet up with people that will not pose them any difficulties, will more or less do as they're told. And I think they need to sack a few people, not just blame the civil service for everything, sack a few people, because there are actually some wiser heads on the backbenches of people who've not just had experience in politics, but experience in the real world as well. And I do think that Boris needs quite quickly to make us think that he's surrounded by people who know what they're doing.
We will make America great again.